Super Rugby Power Rankings, folks, for the penultimate round. How the teams stacking up. We'll go through these teams from bottom to top. A few changes, but not a heck of a lot. But yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts on which teams you think are in form and which teams you think are struggling. Moana, Pasifika, they are the same as last week. Got them in 12th. Remember, they've still got a game in hand against the Force on Tuesday, and then their final game. They didn't look bad against the Reds. They certainly got beaten, but I think they surprised people a little bit. They were supposed to get a big old hiding. They still got comfortably beaten, but it wasn't embarrassing. Like, if you look at some of the other results this weekend, Moana Pasifika will certainly hold their heads up a bit higher. But yes, it's still another loss for these guys. One win this season. Can they pick up one more? We'll kind of have to wait and see, but it is 12th for them. The Force, I've still got the same. Another one that was kind of pretty big loss this weekend away from home against the Chiefs. They're 10th on the table, so I've got them one spot worse than they actually are. And the Drua, also the same. Big loss against the Crusaders. I don't read too much into that, man. But I mean, at least they got a win the week before. But that was a big old hiding and a half. But they're not the first time to get a hiding down in Christchurch. And then the Rebels make out 9th spot. So if I'm not mistaken, that's exactly the same as it was last week. Because, yeah, all these teams were in the bottom and all these teams lost. They were all away from home. And there was a few hidings dished out. So there you go. These are the 4 teams not making the playoffs, I reckon. I know the Force have still got a chance, but I can't see it happening. Personally, happy to be proven wrong, but don't think so. The Highlanders, their run has come to an abrupt end, down one spot with a home loss to the Waratahs. I've kept their jersey on because the Waratahs were pretty good value down in Dunedin. So the Highlanders are just not, I don't know, man. They've been looking like world beaters the last couple of rounds, and worrying for my Blues, who are top of the log, that they might have to face the Highlanders, who are coming into good form, but then they give a performance like that. So yeah, kind of hard to rate them any higher than that. The Reds, who were in 8th last week, are up 1 with a solid but not entirely convincing performance over Moana Pasifika. It's a win. It breaks their losing run, so I guess be thankful for that. If you're a Reds fan, maybe it's a good turning point for them at the right time in the season. Interestingly, I've got the Hurricanes in 6th, which is down a spot, despite the fact they got a win. Don't worry, I don't have anything against them. It's just the way I've calculated it. Basically, they beat the Rebels. And it was a big win. But I'm counting that win as less than the win that these guys got away from home. Because if you remember at the start of the season when we had the Aussie teams playing the Aussie teams, the Kiwi teams playing the Kiwi teams, I was kind of calculating them separately. And when I joined them, the New Zealand teams had done really well. So I kind of lowered the value of the wins over the Aussie teams. But I've had to keep that. To be fair, I've had to keep that. So essentially, I'm saying the Hurricanes win at home over the Rebels is worth less than the Waratahs win away against the Highlanders, to be fair. So, yeah, hopefully that kind of works out. And these teams were close when they played each other last week. So, much of a muchness. Yeah, I think I would still be betting on the Hurricanes to beat the Waratahs if they were to meet in a playoff game. But, I mean, who knows? They've been close. So, yeah, both had good wins. They're both up in the back end, but on my whiteboard, the Waratahs have managed to pip the Hurricanes, which means, strangely, the Hurricanes win and yet are down. But, like I said, it's more just the Waratahs have passed them. So, they are both in the background. They are both up. If that makes sense. The Brumbies are down to 4th. They have had 2 home losses in a row, which is not good for power rankings. Admittedly, against the Blues and Crusaders. So, pretty tough teams. And, God, they came so close against the Blues, didn't they? They'll be pretty gutted with that one, but it was a competitive game. Unfortunately for them, that, as I said, just like 2 losses. And in terms of final spots, it may be crucial. We don't know. The Chiefs, I have got them up. They're still a bit of an up and down side, but credit to them, they smashed the Force at home. So yeah, a win is a win, and it's better than a loss. So they've passed the Brumbies. Who would I back if the Chiefs played the Brumbies right now? Don't know. It'd be a close game, wouldn't it? Might have to look at the team sheets before deciding. But the Chiefs have also had a bit of COVID in their camp as well. So despite that fact, for them to get a big win is still pretty encouraging. The Crusaders were still got in second, and boy, do they seem to be peaking at the right end of the season. They seem to be peaking right at the right time, don't they? They had a few games that they will look back on and think we could have done a bit better, but these recent games have been pretty ominous, and it means my Blues are still in first. Maybe not as slick as they would have liked against the Brumbies at the weekend. The Brumbies went out there with a tactic to slow that Blues ball down, and it worked a treat. The Blues didn't really have an answer for it that well, did they? They didn't look that good. I feel like they're maybe missing someone like an Akira Ioane. I'm not the only one to say that, but they needed a big body to help clear out some of those Brumbies bodies from those rucks. I know the ref pinged the Brumbies a lot of times for it, but the Brumbies defence was largely able to keep that pretty sharp Blues attack quiet. But still, this Blues side got a win, whereas Blues sides of old would have lost. Absolutely. So, happy days for the Blues. It's another win. It's away from home. It's in Canberra. That's been a pretty tough place to go this season, so credit to them for the win. I do think both sides will be better. I've said it in the comments as well, that I think the Blues and the Brumbies will be better for having that game. The Brumbies have proven they're able to keep a pretty hot attack quiet and score some tries of their own with a pretty slick maul. They'll be disappointed they didn't get their backs a bit more ball, but they weren't playing a possession game. And then the Blues have had to win ugly, not just win pretty. So it's going to give them, hopefully, a bit of a wake-up call coming into the playoffs. But anyway, we will see. You guys let me know what your thoughts are on the power rankings. How well do you see them stacking up? They're not too different from the actual table. Like the Blues and Crusaders are the same. The Chiefs and Brumbies have swapped spots compared to the actual table. Likewise, the Tars and Hurricanes have swapped spots compared to the table. And the Drua and the Force have swapped spots. But largely, everyone's in similar spots, but just a little touch different. You guys let me know your thoughts, folks. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.